All right, welcome back to NRB Conversations. We're joined by friends, both new and old, and this is a very good friend, Eric Metaxas, author of Letter to the American Church. Also, you're the producer of this movie. Incredible.
Actually, no.
You're not the producer.
No. There's a whole bunch of producers. My wife, Chris Himes, my producers. The people who've made the film. I got to say, I wrote the book Letter to the American Church.
Yes.
The film, the folks who made it did such an amazing job. So when people rave about the film and they praise me, it's like, I didn't make the film. It is truly like next level in terms of documentaries, because a lot of documentaries, you agree with them, but they're not great films. This is it's edited beautifully. It's a call to action. And people should go to the website, lettertotheamericanchurch.com. Everything is there, lettertotheamericanchurch.com. And the most important thing you'll find when you go to lettertotheamericanchurch.com is any church that wants to do a free screening. Now, if you're not a church, you got to pay. It's not a lot. But we're encouraging churches to do free screenings of the film. So if you go to lettertotheamericanchurch.com, you can sign up. We already have hundreds of churches signed up. There's a list there. It's exciting. It's exciting.
That's great. I saw it. I watched all 60 minutes. Incredible. I would absolutely recommend it for anyone. Let me just drawing comparison right now because of these bizarre time that we live in 2024.
Yeah.
This is the most critical election of our lifetime.
You know what? People always say that, except
right.
It's true.
Yes.
There's no doubt. If you know history, I mean, the older you are, the more you're going to have a sense of this. There is no doubt. If we do not fix what has been almost irreparably broken, it's over.
Yeah.
We are. What I keep saying, I have a new book coming out in April called Religionless Christianity. It's a Bonhoeffer term. And it's the sequel to Letter to the American Church. And I basically say that we're in our third existential crisis. The first is the revolution. The second is the Civil War. We are now in the third existential crisis of our history as a nation. And we need everyone involved in this war. This is a spiritual war, but it's a war that plays itself out in the political. We've seen wickedness. Anybody paying attention to the news understands we're seeing a level of wickedness unprecedented. People who are not pro-Trump are saying that what they're doing to him is insane.
Yeah.
It is vindictive lunacy.
Yeah.
Using our justice system to go after somebody for political reasons. We don't do that in America. What is going on? That kind of lunacy, the lunacy of the persecution of the J6 people, most of whom are just utterly innocent of any wrongdoing. This is wickedness.
Yeah.
And, anywhere you look, you see wickedness. The transgender lunacy, open borders, crime, rampant crime. I think that we are in, as I say, the third existential crisis of our history. But it's a call to action for Christians to say, okay, maybe I was sitting on the sidelines. I can't do that anymore. And Christians need to know it's the Lord's will that you get off the sidelines. This is not my point of view. This is the Lord's will because lives are at stake. Innocents are at stake. They're going to suffer if Christians don't get in the game. So it's a call to action. Lettertotheamericanchurch.com is the website. But I just believe that what we're seeing, the upside is it is waking some people up who otherwise would still be asleep. Yeah.
I got to ask the question. There are a lot of books. The Turning Point is now, right? The Fourth Turning is now Neil Howe, and that it's a book on sociology. About every 80 years, there's a huge, like every fourth generation of this sort of turning. What is the third existential crisis?
It is a war. I mean, I talk about it in my new book, but I guess to sum it up, we're dealing with, imagine, right? The first one was American patriots versus the tyranny of George III, right?
Right.
Okay, so it was kind of simple. Can we govern ourselves or will we bow to tyranny?
Yeah.
So, it was the threat was from without. The Civil War was the issue of the Union. It was within, threatening to tear apart the nation. This is from within and from without. You have globalist forces in the world that are the enemies of American sovereignty. America is the biggest threat because we are a force for good. We're a torch of liberty. I see you got the torch of liberty, freedom. America is in the words of Lincoln, the last best hope of earth. And so you have globalist forces around the world who hate America, who want to wipe away not just our actual border, but our sovereignty. They want the World Health Organization and globalist entities to take over America. So you have that threat, okay? And the values of the people that want to take over America are not the values of the Founding Fathers. They're antithetical to self-government, to freedom, to having religious freedom. They are the enemies of that. You also obviously have China, and you have communist forces that basically they don't like freedom, and their number one enemy is this beacon of freedom, the United States of America. So you have all that going on, but you also have it within America. In other words, these forces have infiltrated over the decades, so we are now fighting a battle against wokeism, against cultural Marxism, that if you really boil it down, it is globalistic, it is a cultural Marxism. And so you have forces from without and from within threatening to wipe out the United States of America as she has existed for 250 years. And it's an existential crisis in the sense that if we do not rally and beat back these evil forces, we lose this beacon of liberty, the United States of America. And not only will Americans suffer, the whole world will suffer. So it's so huge, but God has called his church to wake up. As America goes, the world goes. And as the American church goes, America goes.
Yes.
And so it is up to those people to say, I'm a Christian. Well, then you're the church. What you do might be the tipping point. Whether you sit down or whether you stand up and do something might be the tipping point for the entirety of the American church. So this is a holy moment for every single believer to get in the game, to fight, to praise the Lord, and ask him to lead you in terms of what you can do, because this is it.
God bless you for doing this, Eric. You're a dear friend. You're a friend of liberty. We appreciate you. Letter to the American Church. I want to encourage everyone to do it. And we're planning on hosting a watch party for this movie here in the next month or two.
I love it.
So we're working those details out. But man, we'd love to have you back on campus very soon.
And I'd love to be back on campus. Thank you, my friend.
Awesome. God bless you.